Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. 3 playoff games on Tuesday night. In this one, we're looking at the Grizzlies and the Thunder, seeing if the Grizz can make this a series at all. I've got some insights and some matchup data, stuff you need to know as you get your bets down here on Tuesday for this game. And definitely make sure to subscribe to that channel because we also have an episode up for the Bucks and Pacers with everything you need from that one. And then by Tuesday morning, going to have that episode up for the Timberwolves and the Lakers game as well. Also want to make sure that you know how we did on Sunday. Didn't do awesome, but kept it under a unit in terms of the losses there. Pretty good record, just couldn't get it was really the juice that we lost. Let's put it that way. Monday night was much better though. Just don't have the final record yet. Thinking we're going to look at about 2.5, 3 units profit here on Monday night. So some really good hits there as well. If you do want to continue to follow along, got that little VIP discount. I'll run by you guys here in just a minute. So if that all sounds good, give this video a like. Let's get right into it. Sunday, lost 0.7 units. I'm never going to cry about losing juice here. A couple of these bets were really small units that we lost. That kind of helps. Plus, we had some plus money hitters that we got as well to help us really keep the losses down here. 6 and 8, still up 42.7 units. That's going to look way better after Monday night as well. As I mentioned here, going to win at least a couple of units back here on Monday. So still going to be up really nicely on the season and in the playoffs, I should mention as well. Sizzling hot still, up more than 10 units now in the playoffs as we roll through. So feeling good about how we're breaking down these matchups. Going to go into that in just one sec. Quick run through the wins. I'm not as worried about. I will say J-Dub 4.5 boards. We're not getting that again in this series, especially. It's up to 5.5 now for the game on Tuesday night. Not sure if we'll be going that direction. Tyler Hero on the threes. 2.5 in this series. He's going to need to be big. He's going to need to do a lot. So for the Miami starters, that's going to be the takeaway from that game. Miami starters, we can rely on big minutes from like Mitchell, Wiggins, Hero, and Bam. Everywhere else, I'm not feeling as confident that we can rely on minutes from those guys. Talk about that more in a sec. Pritchard on the dimes. I mean, that's too low for plus money. I don't care who they're playing, and they didn't blow them out right away, but they pulled away, did the Celtics, in the second half in the third quarter against the Magic, and that really helped us cash the Pritchard bet, but he had 2 assists in the first half. So you're giving us this for plus money. He's basically a 3 assist a night guy if he's getting 25 minutes, and he's definitely a part of this rotation in the playoffs big time, right? Like one of the first guys off the bench, and will continue to be a big role player and just, a player, like role player, not bench player, role player, right, for this Celtics squad. Looking at Davion, this is not going to be low like this continuously, but I'm still at like 17.5 PA. Still not feeling too bad about it, like 16.5. If we're in that range and it goes up a couple, I'm still probably good with an over for a guy playing a ton of minutes and will continue to be basically the 3rd or 4th most important guy on the team. For Jimmy, it's playoff Jimmy time, man. And the Rockets, this is a good series for him, in part because it's a bad series for Steph, right? Steph did inhumane things on a basketball court on Sunday night to help him to even like keep that game, his numbers good, and then to take that victory. But Jimmy was doing it from the start until the end, and he was just doing it with being better than the guys guarding him. It's plain and simple. He's not getting the Amin Thompson matchup. Steph is getting it. So he's a good look to keep going over. And then Jabari Smith, we'll probably see this up at 10 or 11.5. He got next game. He got 11 in this last game. Felt good about the bet going into it. He didn't play that well, but we can also look at him on the rebounds, to be honest. And he is going to keep getting big minutes as he seems to be a better play for Udoka than Tari Eason. So I'll keep liking Jabari a little bit more than Tari in this series. Looking at the Scottie Pippen bets, like anything that you see here from that Memphis game, that was on me for just going in too hard on the Memphis game without like taking into consideration that the Thunder have beaten this team all 5 times now, and they won the season series for averaging an 18-point margin of victory. So now they've got a 22-point margin of victory on average or whatever in 5 games after a 51-point blowout in game 1. So nothing to do there with Santi, Edie, Scotty, all 3 of those bets, and 4, if you take the 2 Scotty bets, including the alt line there, all of those bets were just dead in the water. Interestingly, we're going to talk about Edie in that other video for Memphis in game 2, because he still had an incredible game, despite the fact that he could only get 20 minutes because his team was never even in the game. Then looking at Porzingis, he just had a horrible game, the 17.5 points for Zinger. He was still out there a ton. I don't know if we should be taking too many overs in general in this series, as I don't think it's going to be a very close series for the Celtics and the Magic there. So we got to be a little bit more, temper ourselves with the overs that we want to take for stars and the good players on the Celtics right now. DeAndre Hunter, I'm out. I'm just out. I've never seen him in the playoffs, and I don't want to start betting on him now. 11.5 points was low. He was non-existent and then stopped shooting after he missed a couple. He might go over next game. He might get 11, 12 points. I'm not going to hold my breath for a 15-plus point outing from DeAndre Hunter, not especially when we've got Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland playing near perfect basketball, especially Donnie, like he did in the last game. Then, yeah, there's not much to be said for a guy like DeAndre Hunter getting his. You just can't rely on the usage for him. Wiggins, over 17.5 points. He kind of turned back into Wiggins that was just really inconsistent, wasn't really taking the shots. I mean, he wasn't too inefficient from the floor. He just wasn't taking the shots. And Cleveland really took this game by the reins and just kind of rode it to the end. Basically, they led for pretty much the whole way. There was a couple little comebacks by the Heat, but Wiggins wasn't helpful, and he's too timid of a player. I don't know if we can really depend on him in a series that shouldn't be that close either if Cleveland's playing on offense the way that they did in game one. And then slow-mo, just what I said at the top, like I'm not trusting backups at all. Bench players, anybody coming off the bench that's not Davion Mitchell, essentially, not sure I can trust them. Like Duncan Robinson had a good game. Kyle Anderson, a terrible game. He didn't even play. He played 6 minutes, didn't play in the second half. I don't know when Spo is going to go to his bench and choose this guy over that guy, right? I think Haywood Highsmith is probably good for most of the series as one of the best defenders. Other than that, there's nobody on the bench besides he and for sure Davion that's coming off the bench for the Heat that I want to touch on. But I will say another nice night here on Monday night as well. Just one little hiccup on Sunday. First losing night in about a week. Feeling really good about these playoffs because we've really got a nice system going. Going to get into that in a minute, but if you do want to jump into the VIP, get all the plays that we've got, check out the description of the video for the link that'll take you right to the WAP.com store, and then you can use code YOFS25. That gets you 50% off your first 3 months. I got to shout out a couple guys. Hananat Hannah and Buddy Irons are bringing a bunch of great looks to the MLB stuff. Hananat Hannah, 7-2 today, or excuse me, at least 7.2 units is what I mean here in the MLB today. Really appreciate those guys' looks that they're bringing. Plus, you have access to me and the chat and everything. So hope to see you guys in the VIP. But let's get into everything that we've got here for Tuesday in this Bucks and Pacers game. When there is a 51-point blowout, it's pretty hard to get too many key takeaways from it. But let's take a look at some of the stuff from game one here. Here's the most important thing. It was 9-8 at one point in the first quarter. By the first half, that was much worse. They got outscored, did Memphis 60-27 from that point on in the first quarter. The 51-point win was the largest in game one history in the NBA, and Desmond Bane had a minus 51 while he was on the court, which seems impossible, but somehow managed to do it because he was playing more than any of the other starters, and they were losing the whole time. They were down by 56 at one point. Triple J, career low in the points there, 4 for the playoffs for all time. And really, I mean, this is a little bit weird, but like OKC's bench outscored the Memphis starters. Makes sense because this thing was over by halftime, right? So there was and also Aaron Wiggins had an incredible game. The things we're going to look at here are what can we actually bet on if there is another blowout, because the Grizzlies have now lost by an average of 18 points per game to this team. Actually, it's more now. It was 18 points per game during the regular season, probably closer to like 22 per game now that they just lost by 51 in their 5th meeting of the season. But let's look at the matchups and if there's anything else that we sort of need to tweak here based on the looks that we had in game one. Nothing unexpected here. These were the matchups. I didn't have an episode for this game because I was out on Sunday when this game was played. But I will say that like this would have been the matchups I projected, and this is how it sort of played out in game one as well. Jordan Morant, it's just a horrible series for John Morant. In fact, I like Scottie Pippen a little bit, like I mentioned in the recap from that day on Sunday. I liked him to hit those threes. It's just he couldn't even get 30 minutes because nobody could, because it wasn't a basketball game. Then you have J-Dub and Bane. J-Dub clearly won that one. And to be honest, like it's not a great series for Bane. It's not a great series for Ja. It is a very good series for J-Dub. So we'll be talking about him again. And then Chet Holmgren on Jaren Jackson, Hartenstein on Edey. Those guys kind of interspersed. I mean, they didn't really feel like they needed to cover one guy. There was no sort of you're responsible for this person outside of Lou Dort. So this team defense is just going to continue to gobble up all of the guards on the Grizzlies. You can tell I don't have much faith in Memphis. Other side of the ball, like if Memphis was playing defense in the way that they had been last season or season before when they were good, then I trust them. The grit and grind is gone though, right? Like Pippen Jr. is their best defender for SGA now. Like Tony Allen ain't walking through that door. Let's put it that way. Damari Carroll, the junkyard dog, little shout out for Mizzou, not coming through those doors. So I don't know where they're getting their toughness from. I don't know where they're getting their on-ball defense from, but they have no on-ball defense, and they can't score against teams that have incredible offense, on-ball defense like the Thunder here. So again, I ask you, how are they going to win this series? They're not. I don't know the answer because there isn't one. They're just not. And I don't know that their defense is going to be able to hang with OKC, and I certainly don't think they're going to be able to score on them. As always, going to be using Props Madness to run through these player props with you guys, the #1 sports betting research tool for all things player props for both the NBA and the WNBA. And if you do want to jump in, definitely recommend using code LYB. That will get you 25% off your first month. Plus, you'll get 7 free days too. If you want to trial it out, don't even want to pay for it, but you want to test it out to see if you want to pay for it, this would be the code to use as well. But it's a perfect one-stop shop. For those of you who have not watched the show yet, this is what I'm going to go through using all the filters and everything to find these bets for you guys and show you the value that this presents. So I have 3 bets that I really like for this game. They're the same bets that I hit in the last game, and none of them did hit. I'll tell you that. The one that I like a lot that I'll start with here is Jalen Williams on the RA once again. This was 9.5 in the last game. This was the one bet that we hit in this last game because he had 11 in just 26 minutes with 7 rebound chances for 5 boards, 10 potential assists for 6 dimes for J-Dub, right? And the key here for J-Dub, and it's been there for him all season, he's at 10.4, now 10.5, excuse me, on the season as a whole. And yet we're getting 9.5, and he has been incredible in this matchup versus this team. 12.8 RA on the season. This was a little bit higher before the last game where he got 11. It was at like 13.5. So I'm just not really sure. His potential assists are at 11.8 versus this team, which is up nearly 3 from the 9 that he averages on the season, because this is a great matchup for him. Like, this is a team that loves to get onto transition, and this is an athletic, fast, young, amazing skilled player that is not as good as SGA, but in some facets of the game, much better, including rebounding and athleticism overall, just getting to the rim. So like the points, you can put them out there, but I'm not really in a big rush to take points for guys overs for either team, especially the Thunder, when I don't think they'll need to play their starters in the fourth quarter at all, the way they didn't in this last game. So like, I think the rebounds and assists are safer because 1, the assists are a very low number, and 2, the rebounds are low enough as well that when the missed shots come, right, there's a correlation between him not even needing to play that many minutes and his ability to get rebounds. Because if they're missing lots of shots and he's getting lots of rebound opportunities and gobbling them up, then this game's probably not going to be very long again, right, in terms of how when it's actually a game. So love J-Dub to keep it going. We took the rebounds by themselves. We also like the assists, though, and I think both of them, putting them together at 9.5, this should be at 10.5 reasonably so. He's only going to keep getting more minutes than he saw in the regular season. On the other side of the ball, one of my favorite bets in this last game was Zach Edey to get his boards. And let me just show you, man. I mean, he had 9, and you're like, I didn't even come close, and you want to take him to get 11 again? Yeah, he had 19 rebound chances in 20 minutes, dude. Like, you can't make this up. Getting more than a rebound chance a minute is not something that happens in the NBA. Let's put it that way. But this is what he's out there for, and they're going to live and die by it with him. He just couldn't even get more than 20 minutes because nobody could get more than 20 minutes because this game was over at the half, right? If this game can be within 20 at the half or 15 at the half, like we have a game that will look like a close game compared to this last one, right? So if Edey just gets to 25 minutes, we're good. We're very good on 11 boards. If he gets to, they want to play him 30 to 35 minutes if they can keep this thing close. So if this game's within 20 or 15 going into the second quarter, like Edey's going to be out there, unlike in this last game, right, where they gave up, they punted because there was no point. In this one, they're going to be a little bit less quick to just punt the game, right, and sit everybody, because if this one's over, the likelihood of them this winning the series is damn near 0. So they're going to try to win this one. They're going to try to keep it close as long as they can, and as long as Edey just gets the minutes, bro, like this is a perfect spot for him to keep just gobbling up all the rebounds. The other bet I liked because of the plus 150 odds we got was the 3-pointers from Scottie Pippen, and I'm going back, dude. I'm not scared of the threes. I'm just worried again that it's going to be a blowout. So this one, to me, it's 2. He went over 4, and he only played 22 minutes in this last game, but we're projecting him for like 34 because he is going to be the main defender on SGA. And he is a good spot-up shooter, and he is the guy that they're going to leave open a little bit more than guys like Desmond Bane or Jaren Jackson Jr., right? So if he takes 5 threes and we got him at plus 150 to hit 2 of them, I'm good with that. I can live with a loss there. You don't even need to put a full unit on it to win a full unit back, right? You could put the like 0.6 units or whatever, and you maybe 0.7, whatever it is, and you'll get at least 1 unit back in profit if this bet's hit. So I do like this big plus money bet here for Scottie Pippen Jr. on the threes. It's all just comes to this. Like, if you don't think that Memphis has even a snowball chance in hell, then just don't bet any overs. Just look for the ways to bet unders on stars, guys like Triple J and Bane again. But if you do think there's a shot at this being a game at all, plus 150 is by far worth it. You get a really good edge for SPJ in this one. Like I said, not quite as many plays in this one because the blowout scares me, but if you do want to make sure to not miss a single bet that I'm putting down, use code YOFS25. You'll get 50% off the VIP. Got the description. The video has the link to the WAP.com page that you can go ahead and get all the picks, get right into that VIP Discord. So hope to see you guys in there. Until I do, happy betting.